How you doing? Look at this. I got a smile on my face. Thanks to DM Dave, who put that smile on my face while we were chatting. I mean, you know a good buddy when he puts a smile on your face. That's what I like to call him, my good buddy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are here tonight, Superior Adventurers Guild, with Shadesong Saga number 9, part 2 of 2 for the rope. That's a lot of 2s. I'm Bleakseason, your GM. You can catch up on all the other sagas that came before, as well as uncover lots more of information and lore about exactly what Shadesong is by visiting my website at bleakseason.com. You can also watch Saga 7, The Well, and Saga 8, Blackbird's Cry on VOD, wherever good VODs are sold. Here, YouTube, Walmart. You guys remember Radio Shack? They would have had VODs.
They would have.
God, I miss Radio Shack.
Chris was there when Radio Shack started.
Oh my God.
I opened the first one.
He can't even grow a beard yet. What are you talking about? The young pup over there.
Forever young.
Look at that, Sherwood. All right. So our saga tonight takes place in the Shield Mountains at a fortress called the Umber Keep, where a group of uneasy allies all seek the same thing, but for different reasons. The artifact they seek is called the Purest Vessel, and it's said to be able to cure and even destroy the sentient virus known as the necrophage, which has been ravaging cities through Eld. I'd like to take the opportunity now to welcome these beautiful, beautiful faces that are our players tonight. Hey, guys. What's up? How's it going? How you doing?
Hey,
I thought you said something about beautiful faces. I'm looking around here and I'm thinking maybe you have the wrong table.
Yeah, I still think that I'm invasive last night. No, you guys are beautiful. You guys are beautiful to me. You know,
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Beauty is as beauty does, and you guys do. What do you want me to tell you? No?
I don't know.
All right.
no,
Fine.
you should keep going.
All right. No, I'll not, because I flatter you too much, and then, I'll never hear the end of it. So instead, I will ask you guys to introduce yourselves, and we'll start with the Grand Meister himself, Dr. DM Dave. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, I'm doing good. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not because we haven't transitioned over to the other screen, but my name is Dave. And there we are. God dang, we are good looking. I doubted you for a minute there. We are. Look at this group. This is great. I am honored to be part of this game. Bleak, thank you so much for bringing me back for another Shadesong. I get to reprise my role as Abaddon, formerly known as Karth, who is currently knocked the F out. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, my name is Dave. I run games, play games, and produce games here on Guild Superior. And I get to do so with great people multiple times a week, and it's really fun. It's been great getting to know all of the folks that you see on the screen here and playing games. Some I've known for a long time, others I've known just for a short time. But yeah, really excited to be here and play this game and see what happens for this saga and how it feeds into the next one. So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me over and asking me to bring this over here. It's always a lot of fun, and glad to have you in this one. I always like to torture characters, and I was just thinking that it's great because we got actually 2 characters that are out as we begin tonight. So who knows where all this business is going to go. But speaking of being knocked the F out, Chris Sigler, the man himself, in his library. How you doing, sir?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing great. Hey, everybody. I'm WikiVA on Discord and Twitch. My name is Chris, and I'm old. Yeah, and I play tonight. I'm playing Melker Alberg, who is a Titan barbarian. And at the end of the last episode, he apparently got hit with a power word kill from a 14-year-old human.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So maybe I'm dead. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for having me. I love playing in the game, and I appreciate you inviting me to play.
No, it's totally a pleasure to have you. We had great fun last time with the the 2 times, and let's see if we can resuscitate you so that we can keep going our little pas de deux there. Thanks to you so much for playing with us, Chris. I really appreciate it. Next, the man they call the salt that never ends.
It never ends. The ever-flowing salt.
The ever-flowing salt. How you doing, Travis?
I'm pretty excited. I may not be bouncing off the walls, but I am bouncing around in my own head. Call me Travis Eversalt. I'm called Scan Eversalt on Twitter. I babble in all sorts of places. You find me here and there, playing in games in Guild Superior because I love playing with Dave. It's like awesome. Love you, man.
You guys have quite the bromance going on now.
Yeah.
Do you guys want us to close our cameras for a little while? Or?
Yeah, if you guys could mute yourselves for a minute so Travis and I can get real.
Yeah.
We're due, man. We're due for a dynamic duo stream, so that's coming up.
See it. Believe it. But tonight I'm coming back as what is really growing on me, this character Cicero or Uvesh. Who is he really? Either this passionate and somewhat impulsive person or this very moody and like unyielding kind of person. We'll find out pretty much who's the real winner out of those two.
Yeah, I have a feeling the reckoning's coming there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sensing some poking been happening in the last session. See how that happens. How that
Don't poke the Eversalt. Don't poke the Eversalt. Thank you so much, Travis. I always super enjoy playing with you. Glad you are here with us tonight one more time. And as you will be again, I'm sure, multiple times in the future. Those of you tuned in last week, you will notice that our 4th member tonight looks a little different. Unfortunately, MJ Russell could not make it tonight. We do, however, have the august presence of the man, the toque, the beard, the legend, Scoozy.
Yo. I am so excited to be here. My name is Scoozy. You can find me at Scoozy News on stuff. I think my Discord name is like Zebra Milk, not Scoozy News.
Yeah,
we won't get into that tonight.
Where did that come from?
Man, don't you all have like a gamer tag that you had when you were younger that just kind of stuck with you? Maybe it's just me.
And then I changed it to Bleakseason because
Chris, did they have gamer tags back when you were a kid?
I'm not that old yet. That's what I was gonna. Yeah. All right, beat me to it.
I had a Pong tag.
Player one
and player 2. Yeah.
Large paddle 54.
I am excited to be here. I am going to be playing a normal, unassuming stovepipe somewhere in this vicinity. I'm an inanimate object, and it's going to be quite delightful.
Absolutely. You're so good that I'm sure you could pull off an inanimate object with barely a sweat. Glad to have you here, Scoos.
Excited to be here.
Yep. And before this derails any further, let me throw out a couple more shout outs and then we'll get this thing going because a couple of them are dead already. So we want to see what's going to happen with the other ones. I am, of course, the Bleakseason. You can find me at the Bleakseason on Twitter and bleakseason.com. My website where I detail my living world of Shadesong. I would like to thank the players so much for being here tonight. I would like to thank also MJ Russell, who played Cloth Gilda for us last week, who couldn't be here with us tonight. But big thank you to MJ for setting the scene for us last week. Big thanks to Andy, my producer on Shadesong. He of the evil twirling mustache. Thanks also to Miko for some of the artwork that I use in tonight's game. Shout out to Tabletop Audio for the music, the awesome little beats that you hear in your ears. I wanted to get Am and Amarth, but Dave wouldn't let me. Said we didn't have the budget. I'm like, you can't pay for a Viking raid. I don't know what's going on. Also, shout outs to the incredible animated dungeon maps on Patreon, whose fantastic work you'll see again tonight in Hero Forge for our little minis, our little bonums that populate our screen and our maps. Very special thanks also to Dave and Ashley, the entire production team, as well as the members of the Superior Adventures Guild in our Discord and playing our games, including awesome players here tonight. If you'd like to join us, please drop by our Discord. If you're new to the hobby of streaming, if you're looking for your first shot, being in an actual play, we have room around the table for you. We welcome all. We take everyone in. That's right, Dave. Take everybody in.
All are welcome. Come on over and hang out.
All are welcome. So, last week, we had begun with a little bit of fisticuffs as Abaddon had finally caught up to Cicero after pursuing him for some time for some treachery in the past. After the two of them sort of got their aggression out a little bit, Clothgilda appeared. Clothgilda, who seemed to know a lot about these two, Cicero, whom she called Uvesh, seemed to remember Clothgilda also from several centuries ago, in fact, when all three of them served Shadesong during his campaign before he died. Abaddon, however, has steadfastly refused to look back into his old memories, and so remains somewhat unknowing of some of these details. After that, they infiltrated, forming an uneasy alliance. They infiltrated the Umber Keep, which used to be the home of Shadesong. And in fact, as they were going through the keep itself, both Uvesh, Cicero, and Clothgilda saw what they thought was perhaps the ghost or some sort of apparition of Shadesong, which perhaps heralds something. During their reconnaissance throughout the keep, they rescued a couple of Titans who had been imprisoned by their brethren because they had discovered, while mining in the mountain nearby, the purest vessel, and upon touching it, had been cured of the corruption that has seized all the Titans and driven them mad and driven them to the side of, well, let's say not good. Agreeing to help the other, I don't want to say heroes, but agreeing to help the group, they skulked their way through the keep, found their way inside the chamber of the king, where they slew with some alacrity the king of the Titans and his guards before being rudely interrupted by, as Chris said earlier, a young 14, 15-ish year old human girl named Fugue, who seems to have quite a lot of power. And as we left last time, Malker, you were unfortunately lying dead, having suffered from her ability to just kill people by looking at them sideways. And Abaddon yourself had fallen prey to a vicious attack by the king of the Titans, which had laid you down. And so I propose that we begin tonight with Abaddon and see what's become of him, as one of the side effects of being a follower of Shadesong and having Shadesong's mark, as Clothgilda and Uvesh also know, is that you can't die. However, Abaddon fell and was clearly in the process of dying, to the consternation of his friends. However, you wake up Abaddon in some sort of non-place, some sort of dark void of a place. You feel certainly that there's no up or down or sideways. It's just completely dark, completely black. You really can't make out where you are, how you got here. But as you wake up, you see first, next to you in the darkness, a pair of amber eyes that you've come to recognize, followed by a dark face that has amber stripes along the skin and along the body. And you saw Nyx sitting there next to you. Nyx, of course, who is your warlock patron, who you recently swore an oath to. And as you stood up, or sat up rather, Nyx looked at you and said, "You've been lied to."
I've been lied to. They said I couldn't die. But here I am. In your presence, tell me, what has happened to me?
Well, unfortunately, if this is what you were hoping for, this is not death. I simply pulled you into my boudoir, let's say, so we could have a little conversation, because I don't really enjoy people going around using my name in vain.
This place that we're in seems to be full of lies and treachery.
The world is full of lies and treachery, Abaddon. You know that?
But it still holds that which you have me seek.
I'm not having you seek anything. In fact,
What?
this is the first time that we actually talk face to face.
No, that's not possible.
You've
I've
been lied
seen
to.
you.
You've
I've
been
heard
lied
your
to.
voice. I swore an oath to you. Or who did I swear this oath to?
It wasn't to me. I have a brethren, one named Timur. Timur is a bit of a troublemaker, a bit of a trickster. One of his favorite pastimes is pretending to be some of the others of the Shadow Kings and to strike bargains with people under false pretense. Now, unfortunately, your bargain with Timur is well and solidly sealed. But I've gotten to wondering, aren't you tired of swearing oaths? I mean, we could supersede his oath. You could swear one to me for real, and though you're not really my type, I tend to prefer people who are a bit more civic-minded. But I've been watching you for the past little while, ever since I realized what Timur had done. And don't worry, he can hear us, he can see us. He's just outside this little bubble here, and he's raging, and he's really, really frothing at the mouth right now. So you'll have to deal with him when you get out of here. But between now and then, tell me, Abaddon, would you like to see what Timur is hiding from you?
I've been lied to and manipulated my whole life by the shade, by the shadow. I want to see the truth so that I can chart my own course. That's all I've wanted. I thought I swore an oath to the darkness, to the Shadow King, to you, to give me some sort of power so that I could go forth. But it's only held me back. Time and time again, held back by those who would try to harness me for something. Show me what it is. Let me make my own decisions. Timur! You cowardly bastard!
Be wary of Timur. There are very few of us who don't fear him and what he can do. But for now, Abaddon of Karth, I will do you one mercy. I will show you what he hides from you. And then I will only bid you do one thing. Make the best decision for yourself. You do not need to swear oaths to matter. And she reaches out and touches your forehead. And as she does, Suda is good. You turn your face toward her, and her warm yellow rays soothe your skin and fill your soul with peace. And Fadat, Fadat! The man yelling your title, Fadat, Father, at the top of his lungs is your acolyte, Metha. When you turn to look at him, the fear you see on his face sends a shiver through your soul that not even Suda's glorious rays can lift. Metha, what is it? You look like you've seen death. Fadat, it is your daughter, Fadat. It is Esme, the plague, Fadat. Now you're running past the rows of greeneries and vegetables the acolytes of the temple have planted, past the white stone walls of the chapel, Past the houses of the members of your congregation, you run and see none of this. You find her with one of the cleansed, one who has survived the plague but been left physically altered forever, his skin mottled black and gray, flaking off like ash when he moves. You see him, and deep in your heart comes the realization, this is what Esme will suffer if she is one of the lucky ones. No, Fadat, you mustn't touch her! But it's too late. You're kneeling, holding her to you. You saw her not 2 hours ago at prayer and breakfast, and she was fine, tired perhaps, but still smiling and laughing as she always does. Now she's turning to ashes in your arms. Fadat, you mustn't touch her, the cleansed begins again, but you silence him with a look filled with such pain and fury that he recoils and takes a step back. This plague that has been spreading through the area, you thought you were safe. This is, after all, a temple to Suda, goddess of the sun, the great cleanser, and you are Fadat, the father, head of this church. You thought yourself protected. But now, as you hold your daughter, you realize that was folly. It was vanity. Esme opens her eyes, eyes that still somehow shine with mirth. She touches your cheek. Suda is good, father, she says. And a moment later, you know she is not one of the lucky ones. Later, as the pyres burn bright and hot as the sun, purifying the unlucky 7 who were felled during the day, you watch Suda disappearing behind the western mountains. You watch, and the only thing in your heart is a prayer. But not a prayer for Suda, no. As the last of her rays disappear, and you are swallowed by the night, you pray for death. You pray for death, for release from your anger, pain, and guilt. You pray for death, and you wish for death, death for all living things. Because if Esme cannot feel the warmth of Suda on her face, then no other living beings do. From the shadows, a voice, sepulchral and grave, answers your wish. Just before you allow this shadow to touch you, however, you remember one last thing. Your daughter's last touch, the mirth in her eyes. The hard, unshakable belief in her voice that, yes, indeed, Suda is good. Even in her darkest moment, she truly believed it. And you know she was asking you to believe it also. And here, in your darkest moment, you chose not to. You come to, having seen this.
There's a tear just kind of rolling down the side of Abaddon's cheek. Am I still with Nyx?
You are.
Or am I? Yeah. I know that to be the truth. Why show this to me now?
The girl that you face in the other room, she's the one who brought this plague to this world. She is the one who would see it spread throughout the rest of the world. I'm only showing you this so that you know what the situation really is. I have no quest for you, no directions for you, no requirements of you. I will let you go, and when you go, Timur will likely be very angry and will no longer speak to you. I understand that you're in a bit of a predicament right now, so I will grant you my powers until such time as you can see the sun one more time. At that time, my powers will leave and you will be truly free to decide who you will follow, or if you will follow none. So you have until that time, until the next sunrise, Abaddon of Karth, Fadat, to decide where you want to go and who you want to be. And I give you this gift because Timur is my brother and he has done something terrible to you. entered in a false bargain with you. I hope that this will, to some degree, make up for it. I know it probably won't, but it'll be up to you to decide what you want to do about it from now on.
So be it. Send me back.
Goodbye, Abaddon of Karth. Fadat. And she touches your forehead again. And you are lying on the ground, and you open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, you see your companions finishing off the Titan King who has felled you, as they plunge their swords and weapons into him. And you see the Titan King sort of vacillate and then fall to the ground, narrowly missing your form. You see Clothgilda and Cicero, or Uvesh, whoever he is now, looking around for more threats, but finding none. The rest of you, the battle is just over. You have managed to kill the king. And from behind, Malkar had fallen also. Hugh is saying, now that we've gotten rid of these annoyances, can we discuss like civilized people? And Clothgilda says, very well, speak your piece. And here we are now. You see Abaddon stirring on the ground.
Is it over then? Uvesh, is it over?
Are you going to still lay on the ground like that? See, pulls a hand out to pull you up.
I'll take it. Thank you, brother. Looking around.
As you get up, Clothgilda sort of leans over and says, under her breath a little bit, I have a backup plan. It's going to take a few seconds for it to be ready. When I give the signal, just be ready to move.
Aye.
Till then.
And there's still, Melkor's still down at this point, right?
Yep, and you see Olaf kneeling next to him and sort of cradling him, going, no, Melkor, you can't leave me. You can't leave me like this. I need you. I need your strength. I won't be able to do this alone. Come on, we're the only two. Come on, wake up. And he's kind of slapping him around a little bit. Gently, gentle slapping, not like Titan smash slapping.
How fragile life is.
Fugue says, he's not dead. If you want him back, I'll bring him back. He was just getting a little annoying. He wasn't going to kill me, but being battered around the room like a ball was getting to be tiresome. I don't particularly care about him or his friend. The ones I want to talk to are the three of you.
Well, we are here, and we're not too concerned.
As you say that, you feel a tremor in the earth, like maybe like a distant rumbling of heavy thunder or something, but you distinctly feel like things sort of shake a little bit. Fugue
Help
walks
him
over.
up. Oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Help him up and we'll speak with you.
All right, but for his sake, please restrain him the next
He's
time.
gonna be pissed.
Well, that's your problem, but if he attacks me, the only thing he's going to get is himself killed. You think you can control him?
Olaf.
Well, it's like, I don't know. I mean, there's only two things that drive this man to uncontrollable passion. And that's murder and mead. Oh, I have a good idea. Bring him back. And as he does that, he reaches and grabs the dragon horn that Malk had found last time, and he uncorks it, and the smell of mead fills the room as he takes a swig of it himself. And then Fugue comes by, and she looks at Malak and she goes, fine. And she gestures, and Malak, you wake up and you feel like you've been underwater for like the past minute, just kind of your breath kind of stuck in your throat and not being able to see or hear or do anything. And you come out, your rage is gone because of the fact that you died, but you start to sit up and you're coughing, and Olaf is there with your mead. Here, brother, drink of this.
So he'll grab the horn and he'll drink as he stops coughing, and when he's done drinking, and he empties the horn, and he'll say, "Damnable sorcerer, ensorcelled me."
As she did, I don't think that we're quite a match for her.
Oh, we'll see. And he starts trying to get up, but he's wobbly. And
take care that you don't incite her.
Maybe another horn of mead would fortify me.
Yeah, can't you fill this thing as much as you want?
Why, I don't know. I checked my character sheet.
For tonight's purposes, you certainly can.
He'll fill his horn with more mead and take another drink, muttering about ensorcelment and horrible sorcerers under his breath as he drinks his mead.
I really didn't hit the jackpot when I chose this race as my first followers. But now that that's all over with, the other three of you used to serve Shadesong, didn't you?
What I've been told.
I'm wondering, how do you feel about your former master now?
I care not for that master or any other. Any other.
Surely you were wanting for some sort of direction, some sort of meaning to your life?
He looks over at Uvesh.
What emotion ties you to this world now?
Who, me?
He's looking directly at Sylvain.
Oh, sorry.
Are you
Wait, is that
truly
me?
in control?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, I have so many names all of a sudden.
Now?
Yeah, I know, all the names.
Like, what?
Well, out of there.
Emotion. Purpose. Revenge. Just revenge. He's looking right at you, Uvesh.
Are you truly deciding for yourself?
Do any of us truly know? I think not. The gods meddle. These powerful magicians twist our thoughts and our purpose. Do any of us really know why we do what we do? I think not. It is only pure, carnal revenge. For me, I know not what drives you or Clothgilda or these two giants. Or you, sorceress.
What drives me is probably somewhat beyond the comprehension of mere mortals. However, I would like to point out that there's one among you who is, I would consider, a perfect life form. She's looking at Clothgilda when she says that. Dear Clothgilda, you, I'm sure, have started to put some pieces of the puzzle together, and you realize that several times over the past 500 years while you were doing the bidding of your master Shadesong from behind the grave, from beyond the grave, that certainly a few times you've done mine as well. Clothgilda says, I've been working for Darkath. And who do you think that clown Darkath works for? I have him and 3 others, Noir and Gethra and the Emperor's daughter. They've really not done much except disappoint me time and time again. But you Clothgilda, you're perfect. 500 years, you've eschewed everything. You've given away every ounce of emotion in your body. You've forsaken love. You've forsaken anger, lust, greed. You've forsaken everything to do the one thing you do better than anybody else. Kill. You have literally washed away every other aspect of yourself but the one thing you are meant to do. And because of that, you have become the best at what you do. You see, revenge, passion, love, caring, anger, greed, lust, all those things, all they do to you, the lot of you, little flesh puppets running around this world, they distract you from your true purpose. They distract you from true greatness. Each of you has something that you do well. Each of you has something that you are meant to do, but you're too caught up in your love affairs and your desires for comfort, and it's all so boring. You have the capacity to be great at one thing. All that it requires is that you sacrifice all other things that are secondary, that are tertiary, that are not even that important, but you can't bring yourself to do it. You are consistently shackled by the little insignificant things that you think give your life meaning. But once you die, these things are all gone. None of them matter. Nobody remembers who you loved or who you hated or who you swindled money from. No one remembers that. You become a grain of sand. You become a speck of dust. Clothgilda here is perfect. The rest of you could be like her. And as I've told you, the other 4 that I have working for me right now, bit of a disappointment, all of them still clinging. Well, one of them is not clinging to anything. One of them is pretty much undeath will do that to you. But the other is still worried about little things. Who do I like best? Who do I prefer? Who's got my ear? Who's got my favor? You served Shadesong. You did horrible things for Shadesong. And while you were serving Shadesong, you had one purpose only, to do what you did best, to bring death. And you never questioned it. And you were successful and you were great. But then here you are. You've lost your memories. You've been brought back. And now you're worried about little pitiful hatreds and who betrayed who and who feels what for whom and what do these memories mean. Don't you want to achieve greatness?
Are you honestly questioning me?
I know that you're all here looking for something. And as she says, she reaches into a bag and seemingly from out of nowhere, she lifts up this golden orb. If you look at our map, she lifts up this orb that is partially gold, partially black, with swirls of these colors in it. She's not touching it, it's floating. Still a little bit off the top of her hand. You're all here looking for this thing, like it has meaning, like it's going to change something, like you're going to get something for it, accomplish something with it. You don't even know what this thing is or what it does. And as she says that, there's a much stronger tremor again, and you can see dust starting to fall down from the roof, and you can hear things falling off shelves, and you can really feel this one like a nice, big, thick earthquake that's just sort of running right through this area.
Why hold on to it? Destroy it.
Well, I know what it does, and I know what I need it for. But here you all are willing to kill each other for it when you literally have no clue what it does. Are you proud of that? You really think that this is your destiny, to kill each other over this thing that you don't even know what it does or where it comes from?
Bleak, I have a question. How much did Anduel tell us about this thing? Like, would we know? I mean, we know it's a powerful artifact, obviously.
You know it's a powerful artifact. You know that it is reputed to be able to, as I said, cure the necrophage, cure or destroy the necrophage. You've never seen this. All you do know is that the Grey Eldrin who touched it were changed by it somehow. Remember the ones you freed from the prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one who had the hand that had kind of changed color. You get the feeling that Anduel certainly held back a lot because he didn't want you to really probably know exactly how powerful it is and all that. But
right,
as far as you understand, it's one of a few, I'm not going to say weapons, but items that has the power to affect the necrophage in the world.
Mm-hmm. What do you intend to do with it then, given that your high knowledge of such artifacts? Tell us, what is your one true purpose?
My true purpose is to help you and everyone else in this world achieve their true potential. I'm here to elevate you. I'm here to allow you to become the greatest that you can be, to serve the true purpose that you were meant to serve, to achieve what you were really meant to achieve. But in order to do so, you must get rid of the distractions. You must be willing to be rid of all these emotions and these passions that do nothing but distract you and weaken you, set you one against the other. When has a war ever served any lasting purpose other than to devastate and kill? And what drives war other than passions? Passions are anathema to who you are and your lives, your small lives. If you devote yourself to an ideal, you can become great. But if you allow yourself to continuously be distracted by her passions, you will never achieve more than you have already achieved. You will continue to squabble in the mud. And as she says that, there's an even stronger shake, and you can see outside in the city through the windows, you can see some of the tops of buildings starting to topple. And she says, as far as what I intend to do with this, you're about to find out. So I'd ask you, you are powerful, more so than you realize. You served Shadesong well. I'm giving you an opportunity now to pledge yourself to me, and I will make you the greatest you could ever wish to be.
From behind, you can hear Melker laugh. So much power contained in a silver-tongued, empty soul. Shh, don't listen to her. She seeks nothing but enslavement. My king lies dead, and although she didn't kill him, she's responsible. She seeks to destroy, nothing more. Let's take the item and use it to cure this disease.
What's Clothgilda doing right now? Yeah, I was just going to ask. I look over at Clothgilda to see what she's got going.
She's been rather silent, sort of taking it all in, and you get the feeling that what Fugue said about her having divested herself of all those things really that make human beings humans, or, you know, obviously we're talking about a world with Dvergers and Eldrin and this, that, the other, but you know what I mean, like something that makes, you know, a living being, all these passions and all these emotions of having divested itself from that. You can see that it hit her really hard. You can see that it really kind of had an impact on her, and she seems to be sort of struggling with that. And as you sort of turn to her, she'll say, well, Fugue, you've run a pretty good scam all these years, hiding in the shadows, letting people believe that this necrophage was some weapon of Shadesong, laying all the blame at his feet. People barely remember who he is or what he did, and yet everyone thinks that he's still spreading death throughout this world. And you're right. I did your bidding at times. I wasn't very much aware of it at first, but I eventually came to realize Darkath couldn't be putting all of this together. But you're also right in saying that I sure serve Shadesong, and while whether I continue to do so may be in doubt, considering he's not even here anymore. It all comes down to what we think is important, isn't it? She looks at you guys. You probably don't really remember most of what we did when we worked for Shadesong. But do you remember why you agreed to join him in the first place? Would you give something to be able to go back to that moment and change the decision that you made? Now knowing where it takes you? But you can't. You can't. You can't go back. You can't change it. You made decisions that you did, and now you have to live with them. But it comes down to time. We've been lucky. We've been around for hundreds of years. It's very possible now that our time is going to be a lot shorter, but I certainly intend to do what I want with that time, regardless of what that is and regardless of who agrees with it or not. There's another deep, deep rumble. And you can feel the earth now shifting under your feet. And as it does, you can see cracks start to appear in the ground beneath your feet. And you feel this enormous heat that's coming out from under the ground as you're kind of scurrying to the side and seeing these huge cracks start to spread the floor that you're standing on. You see parts of the ceiling start to tumble down. There's really this massive, massive earthquake sort of happening right now. Fugue sprouts massive shadowy wings and lifts up into the sky, still holding.
Can I use a reaction as that happens?
Yeah.
I was hoping to be able to act as well.
Yeah.
So,
Waiting for a chance. I was actually going to I was going to pounce.
So one thing I have to ask, first of all, before I get in over my head, which I'm going to do anyways, when I was brought back by Nyx, did I come back with one? Do I have 1 hit point right now?
no. You're back at full hit points. But
Okay.
whatever powers you had used are gone.
Okay. Well, that's not great, but he's going to, as the floor is cracking, Abaddon is going to like kind of leap forward, and as Fugue is starting to apparate the wings, he's just going to reach up and try to grab onto them.
Okay, what are you going to do, Travis?
Well, I tried thinking of what cool thing to say, but I am going after the object specifically that she's holding, that spear. No, I think one probably, he's a very succinct guy. In all my service, my mind is clear. And the cruelty of sentience outweighs its worth. And I'm going to I am closing the gap with the sword, lit a flame with the shroud, and I'm actually going to try and actually pierce the orb with the sword.
Okay. Alcor, you see that these two are about to spring into action.
So Melker, seeing the wings and realizing she's probably going to take the artifact away, he's going to rush at her, and he's going to his intention is to leap at the orb and try to grab it from her as she rises.
Okay. So let us do an initiative.
Initiative.
Maybe I roll a d20 instead of a d12.
That's fine. D12 is fine.
It works.
All right. So if you want to click on your character, and you've already done that, put your Abaddon, you have an initiative. 22, nice. So I should roll for class skill die.
That just means that I'm going to be the first to die. Again.
Oh man.
All right, so I should have pulled out cloth skill character in a second. At 22, so the house, the entire hall is shaking. The floor is splitting apart. There's things falling into this hole down into it. You feel this enormous heat and these huge pillars of black smoke that start to rise behind it. You realize that whatever this is, this earthquake, it's vast. It's from really far away. You heard it starting kind of far, and it kind of traveled towards you guys. And the windows are shattering all around you. The ceiling is starting to kind of fall apart. She lifts up into the air. She doesn't look, as opposed to what Malcor thought, that she was maybe kind of flying away. She doesn't look like she's like, da-da-da-da, you know, she's really just kind of flying up so that she's not on the ground anymore, but she's still looking at you guys. She looks like she's expecting some kind of answer for you guys, and she's holding up this thing. So go ahead then, Abaddon, what would you like to do?
I'm going to race forward with both daggers drawn, and I'm going to go up and I'm just going to try, as she's lifting off, I'm just going to try to use my daggers to pierce into them and pull them back down, or pull myself up with them.
Okay, so make your attack.
However that physics works. And I do have one last advantage that I'm going to use. Thank you to the chat from last week for that one.
Yes. A reminder that if you do want to help out our friends here, you can gift them with some advantages by spending little bits. 100 bits will get someone an advantage. If you do so, just let us know who you would like to give the advantage to. Do not waste them giving them to me, because I don't use them as a GM. But please feel free to gift them to our players here, because let me tell you, they're gonna need it.
We need them. We need them. 24 on the first attack.
Right, that hits.
Let's see. A whopping 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
Second attack is only an 18.
That hits.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's better. That's 9 more piercing.
Okay. So you come out, you jump up. She's only a few feet off the ground, so it's pretty easy. You jump up, you plant your daggers in her. You know, the force of your blow is there. She doesn't look like she feels it, but as your daggers sink into her, you see this sort of black, inky, sort of half smoke, half liquid sort of come out and cover your blades and then your hands. And I'm going to need you to do a Constitution check.
Saving throw or check?
Sorry, Constitution saving throw.
You got it. I'm really bad at these. 9.
Right. Would you happen to care to re-roll in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I would really care to re-roll in
You
every
have
shape
something
and
to
form I
re-roll
can
to?
think of. I don't think I have anything that allows me to do that, do I?
Do you have any advantages left?
No.
Okay.
No.
So whatever. It's not a one-shot kill or anything like that. So this sort of comes into you, and as it does, you can feel the smoke and this sort of darkness start to enter your skin through the pores and start to spread inside of you, and you can see the blackness that started to spread on your skin as you're sort of holding on to her with your daggers. And it's just kind of pulling, and she's looking down at you like kind of disappointed in what you've done, but you know, you're hanging in there. And as who's next? Hold on, let me get back to the Owlbear.
As this is happening, Abaddon's just gonna say, "You'll never do it. You'll never make it out. Not without a piece of us."
She's like, I'll take all of them. And at 21, Cloth Gilda goes, "Stovepipe not be a good time." And as she says that, she starts to move. She only goes at 14 though. So she's going to wait 21. She goes at 21. She flaps her wings one shot like this, and you feel this tremendous force that sort of washes over all of you. Everyone make a strength saving throw, please.
Can I react to that with the shroud?
Sure.
I would love to.
Go for it. So you step into your cloak as it envelops you and you disappear into nothingness. You reappear where?
Right behind her.
And
I'm calling for that.
make your shroud roll. See what happens.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, Lord, which one is this? Oh, Lord, I rolled the 6, and that's the Everett Black Tentacles.
Nice. I think that's what you want.
No, because what's the deal about placing them?
Oh no.
I have to you gain the ability to cast as an action. if you do not cast this by your next turn, it casts itself where the DM wants it. And he will likely put it in the worst place possible.
No, he wouldn't do that.
I know, you give me that impression. I
Me?
can hear the devil laughing right now.
So where would you like to put it?
Well, I would have to use, since I'm reacting, it's not my turn
It would
yet.
have to be your action, yeah.
Yeah, it would be my action on my turn.
Unless you want to not put it somewhere and then do whatever you
I know where I want to put it.
All right, no problem. So you'll do that on your action. So you managed to sort of go into your coat, pop out behind her. Everybody else, what did you get? I have to roll for. All right, Olaf, unfortunately, oddly enough, fails the strength saving throw. What about Malcor?
I got a 13, even though that's my strong point. No pun intended.
All of you, including you, Dave, are pushed back and slammed into the ground. You all take 9 points of blunt damage as you are slammed with tremendous force down into the ground. You are not stunned or anything, but you're pushed back and you're prone on the ground. And it couldn't have happened at the worst moment, because as she does this, and as you slam down into the ground, the floor collapses under you. And as it collapses, you see that there's this giant river of lava or flames that is spreading underneath the building that has come from somewhere, you know not where, and it's just washing down and through into the lower parts of the keep and the foundations of the keep. There's this huge thing of lava, and as you get slammed into the ground and all start sliding down into this hole. We'll see what happens when we get to your turn. 21 also.
Hey, Blake, question for
Yes.
you real quick. I know Dave came back at full hit points, but how many hit points did I come back? Was she as nice and bring me back? I hadn't
Came
lost
back with
any,
whatever you had when you died.
so I hadn't lost any before she killed me.
So you're
Okay,
good, yeah.
great.
You weren't
Can
dead.
I-
She just put you in like stasis sort of thing.
Well, it felt dead,
Oh yeah, it did. You don't want to go back there.
so we'll call it that.
Yeah.
Can
Dave,
I use a reaction? My reaction
you
to
can?
use my only other spell slot,
Sure.
because I only have 2. As I'm pushed away from her, on that, can I use Hellish Rebuke against
Yep.
her?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Hellish Rebuke. She needs to make a Dex save, please.
She's got 15 or 16. Hold on.
That's either one is fine. They're both successful.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So she'll take half this damage.
All right, which is?
Oh, that's good. So half of 25, so 12 fire damage. Just fit in.
Okay, yeah, that seems to be a bit more effective than your daggers were. Okay. As you get sort of pushed back from her, your Hellish Rebuke fires off. What does it look like?
Just as I'm falling, my sort of black shadow-laden arms just shoot out this black flame that immolates her momentarily.
She recoils from the flame. You hear her scream, "Ah!" And she like kind of lifts up in the air a little bit further.
Did she drop the device?
No, because she's not actually holding it. It's sort of held, sort of like perhaps by some magic or some force. She's not touching this. At 21, Stovepipe.
Woo!
I'd like to cast Mage Hand and knock that shit out of her hand, please.
You gonna do that?
I'm gonna do that.
So,
Let's see what. Let's.
You're
keep
up in
things
the
a little
rafters
interesting.
there. You're up in the rafters there, my friend.
Who the hell is the Stovepipe character?
Y'all are gonna find out. All right, go for it. Using your mage hand.
I'm using my Mage Hand. There's a little, and a little spectral hand kind of tries to reach for the most interesting thing in the room.
All right, I would say that you have to make it to hit roll.
Well, using my spell casting modifier, which is non-existent.
No,
Or
use your
dex.
dexterity because it's still kind of trying to
Gotcha.
be
That's
dexterous.
14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty weak, man.
Nobody got me bits yet.
Poor guy.
No, it's good enough. I just want to see if you were going to roll a one because she's not dodging it or anything. It's there. I just wanted to see if you were going to totally flub it. Anyway, so you see this little hand sort of appear out of nowhere and just come and sort of scoop the ball out of her hand and flip it up. And so a bunch of things are going to happen at this moment as this ball sort of flies and she goes, no, and she kind of reaches out for it. I'm going to preempt you here for just a second, Trav. So tell me where you want to put the Everts. Are you still doing the Everts Black Tentacle? I can do you a favor though, and I can leave you your action for a second if you want, because something's about to happen that you may want your action for.
Well, I was going to use second. I was going to use my action surge so that I could do two things. One of them was going to be the tentacles. The other was going to be something to do with that orb.
All right, so go for it. So at 16, where do you want to put the Everts Black Tentacles?
Well, my thoughts was literally centered on her. You also, I was hoping to do the other thing prior to the tentacles being launched.
No problem. You can do that.
Okay.
So tell me, what was the other thing? Sorry, I just thought you wanted to do tentacles first.
Using with the short sword and with all the might that I have with the shroud activated on it, I would like to strike or pierce the orb itself.
Okay. So how are you going to get there? Because she's flying up, right? Mm-hmm. And now the hand at 21 has popped it up a little. So it's a little bit high. Like, just give me an idea. I'm not asking you to super justify it, but like, you're going to need to move, right? Are you going to jump for it? Do you have some sort of movement thing? Like, you could jump for it. Like, I'm fine with that. I just want to know how you do it.
Okay. I wouldn't say I have anything crazy for movement specifically. So it is going to be, the force of his strength specifically to go for that.
Okay, I just need to know how you did it. It's fine, you can do it. I just need to know how you did it. All right, so you take a few steps and you kind of jump up into the air and you reach out with your sword to hit this thing. So go ahead and make it to hit roll.
Okay. Well, I absolutely want this to hit, so I'm going to use my one advantage that I have left. Let's see. It is a 22 to hit.
All right, so that hits. So you hit this thing. Is it a magical sword, first of all?
Yes, it is a magical sword. It's also beefed up by the shroud.
All right, no problem. So you swing at this thing and you hit it. And when you do, there's this discharge of light. But it's kind of weird because she's been holding this thing for a while, right? And so you could see that the swirling black and gold were sort of starting to intermingle as you hit it with a weapon that's also charged with, this sort of darker eldritch energy. And you hit it with a sword. This huge discharge of, the best way to describe it is regular light, but also black light, sort of spreads out throughout the entire place. First thing, Dave, you'll be happy to know that as this light washes over you, the necrophage that had begun to seep into your body seems to just sort of burn out and evaporate. And you can see black smoke sort of rising from your flesh as it's getting burnt out of you. And you hit the thing, and you don't break it. It's way too powerful to be broken with a hit of a sword, but you sort of bat it away from all of you, and it kind of arcs out. And I guess I should put a little thing to keep track of it on it. Right, it's a little bit big, but it'll do. I can probably small, and there we go. So you bat it, and it kind of flies up over here. as that's flying out and you beat it, and this power sort of goes. Another thing that you're realizing now, and it's going to kind of work on in with this, is that out of the ground from where you were, literally the best way to describe what is happening is you're seeing dozens, hundreds, thousands, maybe even 100,000. There's too many of them. But you see suddenly from the underworld this rush of what look like souls. You see basically these different shaped people all looking, the best way to describe it is that soul are all sort of translucent, and these souls are all sort of swirling and coming out as if they've been released from some sort of prison or something somewhere. And as they rise up into the room, you can see them start being absorbed in this ball as it's kind of flying across the room. All these souls are sort of jamming up into it. Right now, it's a freaking plague of it. The place is filled with it. You can barely see across the room. Friday, there's just all these souls kind of pumping through this room. The wailing of them, the sound that you hear is just maddening as each and every last one of this soul looks like they just escaped a prison and now they're realizing they're heading back into another one. And the sound that they're making, that wailing sound that they're making, is the sound of joy and exultation that slowly, as they realize where they're going, transforms into the sound of like utter devastation as they thought they were finally free from something. You have literally no clue what's going on. Like, this is beyond the scope of your understanding of anything you've ever seen before. There's just this swell of these souls that are coming up and being absorbed into this ball as all of this is kind of happening almost kind of like in slow motion, and the floor keeps sort of falling apart. At Malcor at 12, what would you like to do? You're basically kind of sliding and you're about to like kind of go off the rails on this thing. You see this purest vessel flying in the air. You see all of a sudden this rush of souls of these sort of ghost-like beings that are just these bright lights and like these empty people just sort of flying out through, and you're like, what the fuck?
And they're like being absorbed into the artifact?
Yeah.
Can I get to the artifact?
Well, similar to Travis, I'm going to say that you could try to jump for it. It's kind of flying up above the hole right now.
I want to jump for it, and I want to use my action, if I can, to pick it up and throw it at her.
Interesting. All right. So I will say, give me an acrobatics or athletics, whatever you got, for the jumping.
Hey, can I also bonus action my last rage?
Sure.
I'm gonna bonus action that.
Bonus action your last rage, my man.
And then I'm gonna. And you said athletics. All right. So let's see. So I got a 13.
All right. So you kind of managed to push off the ground, and you're kind of reaching out for this thing. I'm going to say that with a 13, which is not super killer, you can sort of make it, but it's going to make doing what you want to do hard, because by the time you kind of reach out for it, you're going to be really kind of just at the end of your reach. So it's not like you can like, tuck it in and then spin and then, give it a nice little Tom Brady throw. It's you're kind of just going to be like kind of batting it and sort of hoping for the best.
I'll take that.
Go ahead, and I'll say make it to hit roll, an unarmed to hit roll at disadvantage.
An unarmed to hit roll.
Is that a sports ball reference?
What's sports ball?
I don't know. You said something about a braided guy.
There's only one sport, and it's played on ice.
So my lowest was a 17.
I see.
He's talking about curling, guys.
Yep, that's right. So you know what the national sport of Canada is?
Drinking.
Curling.
No. Lacrosse.
Is it really?
Really?
How embarrassing.
Dude, lacrosse is an excellent game.
You know basketball is invented in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the rest of the stream, folks.
Perfected in the U.S.
I have no way to verify this, but I'll just
Canadian
take it for now.
excellence is what we're all
That's
about
right.
here.
So, all right, Malco, 17's pretty nice. So you kind of reach out, and just with the tip of your fingers, you kind of manage to bat it out into her general direction, and it's sort of looping back. And Abaddon, you saw this thing go by. Now you're seeing it come back, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on, man? Like this is so weird." And it's heading straight for her, and she's going to use her reaction to poof, to shadow step out of it. But as she reappears on the other side of the room, on her action at 14, Clothgilda is going to use her Misty Step to sort of Misty Step up to her, and she's going to sort of climb onto her and grab her and sort of wrestle one of her wings down. And the floor is going to open up beneath you. And I'm going to ask everyone, as you tumble down into the lower parts
Oh, good God.
of this keep, do you have any sort of reaction or action even that you can use to help you in falling? If you don't, then we will make some athletics and acrobatics roll. And
Bonus.
Scoozy, unfortunately, that includes you too, as the wall just completely falls down underneath you and slides into this fiery abyss below you.
I have nothing.
You're just gonna take it?
Bonus
Wow.
action splat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my cloak of arachnida, and as the surface is sliding, I'm gonna walk up the side of it so that I'm on top of it, and then casually jump off to the wall and stand there.
All right, you jump. That's pretty close. You jump off to the wall. All right, the rest of you fall into this thing. So everyone make athletics or acrobatics roll, whatever you enjoy.
The floor is literally lava.
Natural 20
Oh, nice.
15.
plus
Superhero
8, 28.
Jesus.
My rolls suck. I got an 11.
And
Right.
Travis,
I got 15.
you had 15. All right.
Mhm.
It's not like quite as far as it sort of seems to be. You fall like maybe 20 feet or so down.
I'm really tall too, so it's like nothing for me.
Yeah, basically it's just like, you missed a step or something. And you fall down into this ground, and you're realizing as you fall down here, and was it Malcor who had an 11?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Did add her
All right.
issues
So
back
Malcor, you're
in.
going to suck on 12 points of damage.
Oof.
As boom, you just kind of fall flat on your back. Olaf falls with you. Ah! Find Olaf somewhere. Boom. The other two, with your high acrobatics roll, you manage to kind of hit the ground and sort of tuck and roll, and you find yourselves on your back also, but you're not injured. What you see on sort of either side of you is the earth has split for miles as far as you can see. You can see that going north from the point where you are and going south, the earth has split for miles, and this fire, it's not lava that's coming out from under the ground. It's literally the liquid that you're seeing is just the earth and the mountain itself that has melted under some intense, incredible heat that has blasted through this entire area. And all this liquid molten rock is sort of drifting down along where the mountain would have been, and you're sort of surrounded by, and you can see the around you the foundations of the castle. So this would have been like the sub-basement or something, and you can see the stairs there that sort of go up, and you can see along the way, both north and south, you can see other beings that have fallen, people that were outside, and you can still see titans falling, raining titans down along this path, up and down. And you watch as this orb falls down into the hole and lands in that molten rock just out of reach of you where you are there, and is floating for now. And this is where we will take our break. And when we return, we'll see how the heroes deal with the predicament and extricate themselves from this pit of hell that has opened up beneath them. Taking a short break. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. A few minutes. Thank you for hanging out with us. We are playing Shadesong Saga number 9. 2 for the rope. It's getting crazy, folks. See you in a bit. Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out. We are back. We have refreshed ourselves. Chris has checked in with his what do you call that? His defibrillator. He's all good to go.
How far can we go by the end of the stream? How old is Chris?
Well, Bleak is so old he's forgetting words.
Forgetting words. I'm forgetting who you are and what I'm doing here half the time. I'm like, I have a little post-it note there that says you are GMing on stream. D&D 5e, go to dndbeyond.com. All right. I don't know, like we're it's kind of like we're punch drunk here tonight, but we're having fun, and really role-playing games is what it's all about.
That's right.
Having fun, hanging out with your buddies, having a laugh, and that's what we're doing here. We're hanging out with you guys. See Wiley all bit Hobbit in there, a bunch of people. It's cool. All right. So when last we saw our intrepid heroes, you had fallen through the roof as a giant earthquake had ripped through the keep where you were and opened up the ground beneath you, and you'd found this sort of sea of molten stone and rock and earth just sort of plowing through it. And thankfully, you managed to land without too much mishap on the ground below, and the object of your desire, this purest vessel, has floated down and landed in the lava not far from you where it's currently floating. Doesn't seem to be melting or disappearing, but it's slowly moving away with the current of the lava that is flowing down. For people who like to check our other streams, if you watched the last one, Blackbird's Cry, at the end there was a giant explosion and eruption caused by the dying of living flame that killed the resurgent Necro King, because so the players do, they like to break the world, and this is that particular explosion. So we're following directly. We have now caught up with the offense of Blackbird's Cry, and this is the effect of those players' decisions and that destruction that they caused, affecting these guys now, as this rupture in the earth has sent them tumbling to the ground below. That's why they call it a living world. So really, if you're ticked off at this, you got to write to Miko and complete diagram and Aaron and Van Wickman. They're the ones who did this. Dave, you're muted.
I was just lamenting how I blame Vamp for everything that happens.
Vamp, man. Vamp's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you find yourself in this room, and it's incredibly hot. Not so hot yet that it's affecting you negatively, but it is definitely quite hot, quite warm. Let's do it. As you're picking yourself up off the ground,
Abaddon's going to rush over to the edge of the broken tiles, where the vessel is hovering.
Mm-hmm.
Can he reach out? And he's going to reach out and try to grab it.
Yeah, you're trying. It's just sort of out of your reach. You're going to need something. As he's doing that, I'll do the rest of you react as you see him sort of run out, and he's kind of trying to reach for it, and he can. He's trying to think of a way to sort of reach out for it. Let's go around the table here, the virtual table, and see how y'all react to that. Or are you still thinking?
So Uvesh, though he doesn't necessarily bolt like Abaddon did, is a little bit brisk with his walk over as he's trying to do the same thing, except he's trying to reach out with the spear, seeing whether or not he can direct it back towards himself.
You're muted, Chris, this time.
Payback.
Back in Pong, you didn't get muted. You were just on.
You're always on.
Always on.
Okay.
Back in the day when things were simpler.
There or not.
So you'll go there and you try to fish it back towards, and he's having some success. Melkor, how are you reacting to all this?
I'm going to do the same thing, except with my axe, and I'm going to try to redirect it towards me. And I have a longer reach.
That's true. And Olaf is going to start to get up slowly and kind of amble over and put his hands on his hips, and he just looks at you guys like, man, she was right. Scoos, do you attempt to do anything?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a nice kind of jiggity jog down the side of that column, and when I get within 30 feet of this orb, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand again and just pull it out of everybody's reach a little bit.
Just to be a jerk?
Oh yeah, I don't know any of these people. I'm
gonna put your token here, put him where he is, but I'm guessing they can't see you, right?
I would be. I mean, if I'm walking, I would probably be like up here. Okay. I have to go a little closer, like within 30 feet to Mage Hand this. So
yeah, so from there, I'd say you kind of move this thing just a little bit out of their reach.
Yeah, and I would like my Mage Hand to be invisible so that they don't really like see. They're just like.
So it was kind of moving away from you, Abaddon, as you were reaching for it, and then Uvesh came with his spear, and he was kind of beating it towards him, and then that was working, but then Malkor came with his big axe and his big hand, and he kind of just flushed it down, and he was pulling it, and then all of a sudden he kind of went under and popped out, and now it's floating away from all of you.
And we see the mage hand? Is that what you said?
Well, he said he made it invisible, so I'm assuming that's something you can do. Actually, you don't know, but
okay,
you don't see. You just it kind of went under.
Spectral, I guess. It is spectral. I guess you would probably. Well,
how about this? How about you make an Arcana check?
Oh,
hell yeah!
No, Arcana this.
I'll make an.
Or
me
we or him?
That's a 22.
Whoever wants to see if they spot the mage hand.
I think I would. Yeah, I would definitely. Not
16.
gonna have the best results for this. Like a 6.
You got a 6?
Yeah, I got a 6.
I got an 8.
So Malcor, you doing anything with that, or?
Yeah, I got an 8. I did an Arcana check to
Right.
see if I could see the hand.
And Abaddon.
Yeah, I got a 16.
Yeah, with a 16, it's pretty clear that the orb moved in a way that it shouldn't have moved, considering inertia or whatever. And for a moment, you saw the outline of like fingers from the lava. And when the lava fell, you couldn't see them anymore, but you saw fingers outlined a little bit.
I'll look around to see if I can see. I mean, I think I would get a sense that there's some magic afoot. So I'm going to look about and see if I can see specifically Fugue or any other agents that are manipulating.
Give me a perception test, and if you're stealthing, Scoos, go ahead and do a stealth. If you're not stealthing, then no.
I think I'm not. I think I'm like, I'm prepared to be curiously involved.
Okay. What'd you get, Abaddon?
Dirty 20.
So as you're looking around, you remember she had wings. So you look up to see if she's not coming down or something, and she's not. But then on a corner eye, you spot crouching on the ledge there, a short, sort of fairly bulky figure with a cloak and a hood pulled over, and there appears to be a black beard sticking out of it. But what's most disconcerting is that there's 2 gleaming red eyes in the darkness of the cloak's hood. And otherwise, this figure has a couple swords and is dressed in sort of dark leathers and is just sort of sitting there on the corner manipulating the thing.
I'll just look up and then I'll call out, "Yet another one who seeks the vessel." And I'll point with my dagger up towards where I see the individual to essentially raise the awareness for the rest of the people in this room.
You can spot him easily enough when you look up.
Uvish looks up in that direction. Yet another one. It continues to resist.
Seems as though we all want this artifact for some reason. You, Melker, to cure your people. What of you, demon?
Seems like I'm the only one that can reach it right about now. And I'll lift it out of the lava a little bit with the mage hand and pull it up towards me. Not all the way, just like kind of in the air between us.
Sure about that?
I know how to stop his mage hand or his sorcery.
By all means, tell us.
Okay.
What?
He'll raise his axe and start moving towards the caster.
Wait, look. You said you all want this thing, yeah. And you said you all want it for different reasons? Does that mean that... Does that mean that you don't want it for the same? That means you are at odds with one another?
We have an arrangement that we made earlier. We grab the device, I use it to heal my people, and then they can have it.
Aye, that's what we said. Things have changed since then, I'd say.
I'd say they haven't changed at all. Our arrangement is still must be honored.
Your arrangement was with Clothgilda, not with me.
You were standing there.
What say you, Uvesh?
Do we really have an arrangement, or have everyone already met their need? I think I said that wrong.
Would you like a retake?
Yeah. Or has everyone already outlived their need?
Okay. All right. Say it again, but in your Ubish voice then.
Really have an yeah. Do we really have an arrangement? Or did everyone just outlive their worth?
Usefulness.
Usefulness. Yeah, that's a better word.
Nice. I'm there for you, man.
Thank you.
If you don't intend to honor our agreement, then I will take the device.
Are you now? I don't see you're in reach of it right now.
I haven't cut down the mage, but I will. And then if you get in my way, you'll share his fate.
All right, I'll help you, brother. As Olaf lumbers on over to stand by you. You see these two titans, which are about like 9 feet, 10 feet tall, standing there looking down at you.
Why don't you come down here, mage, and talk with us?
Talk just fine from up here.
How high up is he?
So I'd say he's about 30 feet up. And so right now the orb is about 15 feet up.
I think I can make this just a little bit faster. And he's saying that he pulls from like pouch very something Abaddon finds very familiar that he's seen already before, this little glintstone, and looks right up at the orb, and I'm gonna shoot a chromatic orb at it, thunder damage, send this thing careening.
All right. I will say that's pretty fine. Give me. You want to send it somewhere specific or just sort of wherever?
I am, well, as the young kids would say, about to yeet this thing out of here.
All right. So look, I'll tell you what. Roll me a d6 to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Got 5.
5. All right. And so then roll me 2 d10s and add 20.
Said 2d10?
Yeah, and add 20.
So a total of 34?
Okay. So now just describe to us what this looks like as you lob this thing at it, and then I'll tell you where it lands.
Okay. So, and with the glintstone specifically, usually we're used to seeing just this like scintilling orb of lightning. Instead, this time it was almost like a thunderous shock wave. I guess to borrow from another franchise, it looked like he just did a force push, and just this like slam into the orb itself, and you hear it was like a clap of thunder went off.
And when he does that, it goes forward and hits the pylon there and bounces off and goes 34 feet this way, which puts it there. So it hits the pylon and then scatters over to here. And let's see if the pylon withstands that. I will say it's got a 50-50 chance of withstanding it. So 1 to 5, it doesn't crack. And it's 1. So you feel it kind of crack a little bit, and your perch feels a little precarious as the thunder, the thunder from the chromatic orb exploding kind of shakes everything. But then, ding, this thing hits the wall, bounces off, bing, ding, and then rolls off into the lava in the corner over there.
So did Melker see him attack the orb? Or
You saw him throw like a the chromatic orb at it.
No. Melker's going to shout out in titanium. He's going to Titan speak, of course. He's going to shout out, "Brothers, our king has been slain, and these puny humans are to blame. They killed him. We must avenge the king and secure the orb." And then I'm going to start moving towards the orb. I don't know how far I can get, but I want to get as close to the orb as I can.
I'm going to take an attack of opportunity.
All right, so let's roll initiative.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to PvP mode.
Okay. I
love you, Chris.
You don't have to if your character is like, man, I want no part of this. Just, but roll initiative anyway so that you can back out of it when it's time to back out of it. I think I've ever had PvP in Shadesong before.
Well, it's about to go down because
Literally go down.
Just to go over our plans earlier, because you want me to kill every one of the characters, right?
bring it.
We all deserve it for one reason or another, so that tracks.
All right. At 22, then. Abaddon.
I have to change that. I forgot to change it. I'm at a 10.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So then so he starts to move. So at 21, Travis.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to leave it as it is. Yeah, I'm gonna cut him off actually and get ahead of him.
All right, so you're just going to move over there and try to stand in front. So
Yeah.
you can move wherever you want within sort of this central area here.
Yeah.
The structures, you can move wherever you want. If you want to go up there or outside, it'll be extra movement, but within this area, you can go wherever you want. All right.
Okay.
So you scurry over there very quickly. At 10, both Malkor and Abaddon. So Malkor, you started moving to go over there.
Yep.
Done.
I guess if he's blocking my way, I'll go as far as I can.
You're both going at the same time. So let's do who's got the highest dexterity between you and Abaddon before you move. Sorry.
Before. Let's see. I have a 14.
Mine's a lot higher.
All right. So you see him start to move in that direction. What would you like to do, Abaddon, as you get to go first?
I am going to. I'm going to cut him down.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to stab him.
Titan hater.
He just basically signed our death warrant. So he's just gonna get a little stabby stab.
You don't speak titanium. You don't know what I said.
No, I don't know what he said. And I probably didn't even hit, so don't worry about it. 14.
Oh, you probably did. No, that misses.
And then I'll go with my second attack, which is 16.
Hang on, let me check. That does hit.
Oh, goody. That's going to be... It's funny, I have something called a vicious longsword.
It's not funny.
Well, the funny part is I would never use it because it's a strength-based weapon, and my strength is horrible. But he carries it. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but where'd you get that?
7 piercing damage.
Was it something that I gave you?
I don't know. I'm not sure where it came from.
But it should be a weapon that you can use. So if you can't use the weapon that I gave you, it can be a rapier or whatever else that would work.
That's fine. I'll just go with the dagger. So what did I just say?
Certainly, if
7.
I gave you something, it might have been just a mistake that I gave you something that you can't. Because I thought you were using a longsword. That's why I think I gave you a longsword.
I think it's mostly for it's just ornamental.
Okay, it's up to you, man.
This is 7 piercing damage.
Got it. So now that he's attacked me, Can I attack him back, or do
You
I
can
still?
totally do whatever you want.
Well,
That's
Can I use my bonus action as my offhand to get a third attack in? I think I can.
You have 2 attacks with your main hand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay,
that's
awesome.
another 16. So that's going to
Yep,
be
that hits.
another six more piercing.
Okay.
Are you down? Did you go down?
No.
Shit.
No, I'm afraid not.
Who? Now you're gonna get the barbarian.
All right, now I'm gonna attack him. It's
Comes the barbarian.
a shame it came to this.
And do you have any rages?
Remind me
left?
not to play warlocks.
Oh,
Hey,
they're
man.
pretty
God.
good.
I just don't know
Warlocks
why
are
you didn't put on
great.
your armor of Agus. It's you don't have spell.
I have no spell slots
On the plus side, my rolls have all been like 5s and 6s tonight. So,
until now.
Mm,
Is that you're gonna?
oh, how about a 24?
Ooh,
I mean,
What?
that'll hit. Yeah, that definitely
Alright.
hits.
All right, so
I don't even think I wear armor. That's how bad this guy is.
Whose fault is that?
That's 16 slashing.
that's it.
Wait, plus
Oh, okay.
16 slashing. Plus 5 radiant.
Oh, okay.
Was that like 50? 41? I'm not good at math, but that sounds like about 41.
That's a lot.
pull out your abacus.
Yeah. And then I get a second attack, so I'll attack him again.
That's the worst
Oh.
part about barbarians. They do you really dirty. Then they go, and then I get my second attack.
Well, I rolled like I was rolling, so I got a 9 on that one.
So he pulls out
Total?
a double-bladed axe and just whacks you one for the ages.
Probably the only reason that you missed on the second one is because you hit me so hard with the first one that I just reel backwards and fall over,
That's right.
and I go down.
All right. Remember, you can't draw below 1.
Wait, you did go down? No, you didn't go
I mean,
down.
I don't know what happens when I hit 1.
You are at 1 hit point.
Ouch.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Like, enough force could like dismantle you, but in time you'd come back.
I would say that he probably falls down onto the bricks, like at the edge. He's laying like on the edge of like falling into the flame.
If I'd have known these other clowns couldn't die, I may not have attacked.
All right. You've taken some good swings at him. He's down for the count. Olaf, seeing that you've dispatched one of these fingerlings, will move with purpose towards the other one. And as he moves towards you, Cicero, he's got his 2 hand axes out, and he's like, and I'm only going to tell you once, son. You move out of the way, and I won't crush you, but you stand between me and that little golden nugget, and I'm going to put you down. It's up to you. It's in your hands, and he's coming. Do you move?
I do not. Yeah, as he's like doing that, and I have the sword besides me, and I'm gesturing.
Doing the Bruce Lee thing. And while he'll happily oblige. So he's coming at you live with his great axe.
Great axe.
Yeah, and he's going to great axe you.
Oh, never mind. I thought he had hand axes.
I misspoke.
Oops.
First hit is at 18.
I would like to react to that with a shield spell.
Go for it.
All right, and that would bump me to 20.
All right. His second attack will come in at fabulous 17. And so he first swing comes at you. He's sure he's got you, and then all of a sudden, like his axe just sort of bounces out. Arrgh! He comes back with a backswing, and you just kind of manage to step away from it. All right. 9. Sorry, I should have gone to 9 before, Scoozy. I totally missed you there.
It's all good.
Going 9, Stovepipe.
I'm gonna run
the best
down
ones.
this wobbly ledge down the pillar, just horizontally, just walk down it, and then like leap off past the the downed body of that fucker and the giant body of the barbarian fucker, and like kind of scoot past them. I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash, which will get me past that zone into the zone. And I think I'm going to go over here, and then I'm gonna jump up on this wall and leap across, and then because I can walk on walls, I love this character.
Awesome.
So much.
I love that ability.
I'm gonna stand on these stairs, and I'm gonna cast Mage Hand again, and I'm gonna grab the orb, and I'm gonna lift it 30 feet up into the air.
Okay, yeah, because you've done.
I use my bonus action to dash. Yeah, all I've done is move so far.
Yeah, cool. And you lift it up again.
Yeah, this is fucking interesting. Yo, you all. It looks like your arrangement has come to an end. I'm curious to see who prevails. I'm just gonna hang out here on the steps.
Back up to the top. Uvesh.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that that was cool. That was what you did there. It was cool enough that I literally like just blanked there for a minute. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Just dashed all the way over there using the walls and everything. It's like right out of a
Cloak of Arachnida
kung fu movie. So Uvesh, after it had already basically deflected the swings from it was Olaf, right? And in response, I'm going to stab back, going to thrust for a total of...
You're attacking Olaf?
Yes, I'm attacking him back.
Right. Poor Olaf.
Yeah. Total of 20 to hit.
That will hit.
So, let me get the damage real quick.
Yep.
3 and 7. Total of 10. The sword is a light with the black flame, the shroud.
All right, you strike him. And
I do have an additional attack.
Yep, go for it.
So with the first thrust, Uvesh says, "Tell me, what emotion ties you here?" And then I'm going to...
And Uvesh is becoming a really weird one.
That is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, right, that hits.
With another 10. And this time is more of like a angular chop. And he finishes his sentence, "so that I may crush it from you."
Going dark, people.
Super dark.
Fuck yeah.
Stovepipe's eyebrows just...
Clearly see his glowing red eyes now. That was very creepy. I loved every second of it. So, Abaddon, lying on the ground, realizing you should be dead, but you're not.
I love how you spun your token.
He's going to try to pull himself up to his feet, but doesn't have the strength to do it. He gets to his knees and he looks up at the Titan, and I'm going to cast a cantrip, Mind Sliver. And so make an intelligence save, please.
If he makes it, that'd be great.
Once again, I muted. This is so complicated. All these gadgets. All this technology. It's making me
You
cranky.
rolled well. You rolled well.
I got a 19.
Yeah, that's a save.
So what happens? But describe it. Like, what does he feel? What does he see? What happens?
I don't think he feels anything. Honestly, like Abaddon just kind of gives him a dirty look. You know,
Just like normal.
But
Yeah.
as you see him sit up, like he should be dead. Like you really like you were certain you'd split him in half, and he's not looking strong, but he's sitting up and he's giving you the dirty look.
I'm just gonna say, as you look down at me, I'm just gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say anything. He's fucked. He knows it too.
And then at 10, I jumped you again, Scoozy.
Actually, it's
No, it's not. You're good, all right?
It's
So
Chris's
Malco,
turn.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I have a 10 too. So as I see him sit up and give me a funny looking face or whatever he just did, I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to kick him into the lava.
Do it to it.
As metal.
that was a good idea.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to totally take credit. Unarmed strike or
Like a shove or something.
shove.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm prone, so it's with advantage. Do I get like a contest or something?
Yeah, it's called your armor class
Oh,
without dex.
So I got
without dex?
Well, you're prone, right?
Yeah.
I would say
so
you can try to roll around, so your dex still count. You're full AC. You still got to clear as full AC.
So I got a 20. Not a natural, but a dirty 20.
Do you have a reaction,
that-
Dave?
Yeah. Ooh, I'm on fire.
I do not have a reaction.
So he punts you back, and you roll off into the lava. And it's really not comfortable. It's not like you're hanging out in the bathtub or something, but it's really not having much more of an effort. Like, it's really painful. Like, you're in a pool of lava. So, you know, it's not killing you.
That's terrifying. But is it destroying? Like, is it burning me?
It's burning
My-
your clothes, which is interesting because you're going back to where you were when you got off the boat.
Naked and afraid,
Yeah.
but it's not burning my skin. It's not.
You
He's
literally can't take the last point of damage.
Abaddon is surprised at this. He thinks that he should be dead.
So I'm gonna, with my movement,
Yes.
I'm gonna move here, and I have a second attack. I don't know if I can take it, but if I can, I will.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
All right, I'm gonna take it against this guy standing in my way. And
Oh, at this point, the orb's not even like where you remembered it last. It's like gone. The other guy has it.
yeah,
Oh, in the air.
we'll find it when they're all dead. That's a 23 to hit.
Well, considering this is the time for it, I'm gonna use my last charge of the shroud,
Okay.
and I'm gonna sidestep that. Alrighty.
And where do you want to land?
Wait, I got that ability already, so I gotta actually, is there anywhere close to where that orb is right now in the air? Could I just like pop there and just reach out to it?
Yeah, so there's like that little pylon there. If you don't mind kind of being in a very precarious position, you could go there.
Okay.
All right. So roll on your cloak and see what happens first.
Well, it kept trying to give me something I have already had and I cannot have again. So finally I got something. Where is it? Where was it? There it is. Oh boy. So I got 4. Your body's infused with Eldritch energy, granting resistance to non-magical damage for 10 rounds.
Useful.
I would say so in this circumstance.
And so you pop up, and you're standing up there on that thing. You can't reach for it because you don't have any more actions, but you're standing precariously on this little kind of ledge thing, and the vessel is right there in front of you.
When Melkor sees him do that, he's going to say, "Damnable sorcerers!"
I love Malcor. All right, Scoos.
She said you would be like this. God damn it. I don't know which one of y'all is worthy for this beautiful, beautiful device. Not that it's even mine to give. And I'm going to use the mage hand to chuck the orb across the thing through the feet of the Titans into the middle of the arena.
All right, move it to where you want to send it.
right in the middle. Right.
Send it.
You're going for the most annoying character award.
I don't care about this thing.
At 7, Olaf's like, I've got it, brother. Keep your eye on those 2 twitchy motherfuckers. And Olaf, of all people, will come to the center, and we'll bend down and we'll pick up this thing. And because he has picked it up once before, he suffers nothing ill about it, and he picks it up and he's like, so light for something that everyone's trying to kill everybody else about. And he puts it in his little satchel that he's got. At the end of the round, as you're floating there, Abaddon, you're still seeing these spirits, right, kind of floating around. But now that Fugue is not controlling the vessel anymore, the spirits are just floating around the room, sort of just circling and unsure of where they should go or what they can do. There's not that many of them left. A lot of them were absorbed by the vessel already, and those that weren't, many of them sort of managed to escape. But as they're circling around the room, you are floating on this lava, and you're like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I should die. You're really just Abaddon, just like, and as you're floating there, you see one of the spirits, and you're like, was that? And they kind of float around, and then on the second pass, when it comes down, there's this little face that looks at you. That looks at you a little longer as it goes by. And it's coming back around. And Malcor, as you're standing there and you're keeping an eye on those 2 twitchy motherfuckers, you see the same thing as these spirits are sort of going around you. You see one that seems familiar. And again, when it comes around again, it's looking at you with curiosity, as if it recognizes you. And these spirits, as they're moving, stop and slow and stand in front of you. Malcor, you remember your sister dying. Was your sister, right, Berta?
Berta.
Dying in the war against the other Jotun, when the necrophage was flying around and sort of infecting everyone that was getting hit and dying. And you, Abaddon, there's this very distant memory of sunlight on a young girl's beautiful dark skin and her eyes glinting in it, telling you how good it felt. And she's just standing there sort of looking at you.
Esme. Do I recognize her?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that, Where am I? I don't feel the sun. I don't feel Suda.
I don't know, girl. I'm gonna start to pull myself, if I can, out of the lava, back onto the floor of this chamber.
It's quite a sight. You just sort of pulling yourself out of this bed of molten lava, and your clothes all burnt off and smoking off your back, but your skin, for all intent and purposes, undamaged.
Yeah, I have nothing in my hands. All my stuff is gone. I'm just gonna walk up to Olaf at the center of the room.
And as you approach, he he's got his axe, and he's like, "What the hell? How did you get out of that thing? You should be dead."
We don't know. The more important question is, how do you intend to use the device? Use it quickly if you do. Save your people, save these spirits. I won't stop you, nor will anyone else. Do it. And then I'm going to walk past him.
Okay, and I'm going to take a second here to go to Malcor. As all this was transpiring at one end of the room, Malcor, you're standing there, and you're seeing your sister, and she says, "Are you fighting still, brother? Is this fighting not over?"
He would obviously be surprised, and he would say, "Berta, you have not passed this world into the spirit world?"
No, we were trapped in this place under the ground. There was a giant black tower that prevented us from leaving. There were so many of us, uncountable. And then we were free, and then we were not. Is this torment gonna end?
He has tears coming down his face, and he drops his axe, and he says, "Berta, is there a way for me to help you pass to the spirit world? What can I do?"
I don't know. I feel like I should be going into that thing, but that feeling is lessening. I feel like perhaps I can move on, but why are you still fighting? Haven't enough of us died already?
Yes, I fight to get the device to heal our people. It can heal us, and then we can stop fighting. These people, I don't know who they are. They have some other intention for the device. I don't know what it is, but I want to use it to stop the fighting, heal our people.
I wish I could help you.
There's nothing more for you to do, Berta. If you're free, if you can go, then you must go.
I'm glad I got to say goodbye.
I'm glad you did too. And I'm sorry that I led you into the fight, and I feel responsible for what happened to you. And that is something I will live with for however long my life is.
What matters not is what you did, brother. It's what you do now. And with that, you can say last words if you want, as she's starting to turn evanescent.
Farewell, Berta. Go in peace.
I do now. And you can see her, and now you can see some of the other spirits are also starting to lift up as the hole that Fugue had on the vessel once Olaf grabbed it. You can see the vessel is starting to turn gold, more gold than black now that Olaf is holding it. And you can see all these other spirits around are starting to lift. I will get back to Abaddon in 1 second. Just while all this was happening, what would Uvesh and Stovepipe have done?
What we were doing that during that whole thing?
Yeah, it would have happened pretty quickly, but give me an idea of what you would have tried to do. Or
I thought about it was basically I was stuck between either hopping down and getting straight to business, or a very short monologue while I'm standing up on a very precarious spot.
It's your call.
That's a good point.
Why not both?
Why not monologue and then kill someone?
Yeah, you go right to it.
And what's Stovepipe doing? Sorry, you're gonna hop off and make an attack. Is that what you're doing, or?
I think I'll speak before I do attempt to hop down.
Okay, and what will Stovepipe be doing?
Stovepipe definitely heard this Titan's last words to his ghostly sister and watched him drop the axe. And Stovepipe's gonna say, well, only one asshole left as far as I can reckon. He's gonna walk down a little bit and stand next to the naked warlock.
All right. So
Cicero.
Okay. So do your thing, Uvesh.
Okay, so Uvesh looking down at the rest of them. Why do you even resist? You're like embers. All you do is consume. Snuff out. It's inevitable. I'm gonna hop down and I'm there's no way I would have the ability to launch myself at the one who's carrying the orb. So who's getting in the way at this point?
So you want to hop down? All right, so let's make that your action first. So you hop down from there?
Wait a minute, he's holding the orb aloft, right?
Olaf is, yeah.
Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf. I did say he put it in his...
He put it in his pouch.
His
Okay, I wanted to
satchel,
make
yeah.
sure. I was a bit confused in the description, sorry.
No, he did put it in his thing, and then when Abaddon started coming towards him, he picked up his axe again and was kind of ready to smack Abaddon, but Abaddon was non-threatening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hopping down then.
Okay. So you can hop down, no worries. I'll be your action.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Abaddon. I know your action wasn't completed, Abaddon. I just want to give other people a chance to react to things. So you've just spoken to Olaf. And now these other guys are kind of moving in. What do you do?
Oh, you're muted.
How is Stovepipe approaching, like in a aggressive way, or just like kind of strolling over casually, or what does he look like?
He's definitely got his hands on the hilts of his swords, but he is gonna kind of like stare at both of you and like look up at Olaf and kind of like not even nod, just turn his head, and like you just get the whoosh of the cloak as he turns his back on you for the most part and faces off against Cicero.
I think I'm just going to hold my action. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stand there.
Biting my nails here, guys.
Damn. Okay.
Who
I'm
wants
just a
to do
naked.
something?
I'm just a naked man standing in the middle of a room that's on fire with a couple of giants, a guy that I've sworn to kill, and then some random mage handy guy.
Oh, we had agreed there was going to be no nudity.
There's like a little hazy box over his
Yeah.
over
All right,
his.
Hell is
that's
that?
As long as
Wonderful
there's
vision.
as long as there's a box.
He's got fireproof underwear.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So
Leaving it up to you guys if someone wants to do something.
all right. And
I
you
think
guys
it comes
have
down
two
to
things?
I think it comes down to Cicero, Uvesh, really.
So
looking at all of you, yeah, you all look like you're. I don't know. As if am I getting basically the we are one kind of vibes, or is it?
Not for me.
Melker's going to say to Olaf, use the device and go heal our people.
He's standing between me and the stairs, brother.
Aren't there Titans? I thought there were other Titans here.
Yeah, like the Titans that you saw falling were, first of all, they were the bad Titans, right? The crowd Titans, but they were like up. So the tunnel sort of goes this way, the crack and in the thing. So they're out there. There probably some that are trying to come around and whatnot, but you're pretty isolated for now.
Well, then he'll say out loud, honor our agreement and let us heal our people. It's not too late for that.
What makes you think I care? And I don't move out of the way. I realize the situation a little bit. Take 2 steps up the stairs, and I'm going to snap a firebolt at Olaf.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's definitely gonna hit. 5. Oh. Yeah, it's like 24 to hit. For a total of 15 fire damage.
$15 fire damage to Olaf.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be super happy about that. He's not bloodied as your firebolt hits it, and he falls to the ground, injured by this blast of fire that you've given him. How do the rest of you want to react? If you want to get in combat, we'll roll initiative again. But if you're all,
That would.
I'll get in. I'll roll initiative.
all right,
Yeah, me too.
let's toss another initiative.
Now.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Got 10.
Dirty
All
20.
right. I got an 11. Man, my rolls suck.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to teach those dice a lesson.
At least you still have your clothes on.
That's true.
Man, Abaddon has been stripped of literally everything.
I have one thing.
You have your little
Action
girl that's
economy.
standing in the back there, kind of staring at you.
Oh, she's still there?
Well, she's like with the other spirits that are sort of going away, but they haven't all completely disappeared yet. But she's with the rest of them that are sort of evanescing out of
Yeah,
existence.
I would say, just for like narrative purposes, he probably would have tried to not make eye contact with her,
Okay.
feeling like waves of guilt after realizing who she was.
Okay.
That's why he didn't like get into it with her, you know?
Yeah. So you don't, that's totally fine. So you don't see her, but behind you, she will eventually go away. At 24 then,
Let me push
what happened
myself a little
to
under the stairs.
Olaf? Is Olaf?
There we go.
yeah, he's kind of on the ground. He's injured. He's bloody now, and he's trying to kind of get himself up, putting out the fire.
Man, can you roll a d20 for me and just
Yeah.
tell me what the number is? This is a tough one. His character doesn't give a fuck.
17.
17. All right. Look, y'all have had some moments around this device, and the only one who hasn't had a moment about this device is yon fellow on the stairs over there. I say we let him take a turn. I'm gonna walk over to Olaf and try to rest the orb, like gloved hands and mage hand as much as possible.
Yeah, you're thinking probably mage hand. So from where you are, you could mage hand and grab,
Yeah.
grab his bag and sort of empty it and grab the.
An asshole sees an asshole. I'm gonna like walk the orb over to Cicero and put it in front of him, see what he does.
You can feel, Cicero, as this item now is in front of you. You can feel the sort of roiling power that's stuck in it, and you can see when you look at it, even though it started to turn gold, you can see the faces of the spirits that are trapped in this thing, just sort of circling themselves in and out, and not in and out, but around this thing, and kind of pound. There's like hundreds and thousands of them in there, and the power of it is just like kind of overwhelming. And honestly, the sort of closest thing you can kind of remember feeling is sometimes standing on the battlefield after your army with Shadesong would have ravaged, totally decimated another army and thousands of dead soldiers around you, and their spirits kind of lingering in the area, and it kind of totally takes you back to that and those moments, whatever you decide you sort of felt in them. But that's the closest thing you would find to how you're feeling around this thing.
Okay.
You go at what? Sorry, so at 20 will be Abaddon.
Yeah. Stuff.
All right. Well, Abaddon is going to walk very casually towards which one is Cicero?
Yeah, it's the one on the stairs there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's walking towards you just naked as the day he was born. Jesus. Oh my God. This is not how I thought this game was going to go. He just kind of strolls up, and you can see that he kind of puts his hand down by his side, and there is this shadowy blade that apparates in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like he pulls the shadows that are from the flickering glow of the flames and the fire and the lava and all this shit, and the flames come up into this blade, and he is going to walk up to you and try to plunge it right into your chest.
All right.
Make your attack roll.
Nine.
Betrayed. Don't you have a second attack?
I do. 18.
18 will hit.
Okay. Let's see.
This what it's come to.
This is all I want in life right now, is to end yours. Even though he knows he can't fucking kill him anyways. 12 psychic damage.
Oh, that'll go through that resistance.
Actually, hold on. No, that's right. 12 psychic damage. No, I'm
Okay.
sorry. One more. 19 psychic damage. And then I do have my offhand attack. So I'll hit you with it again if I can.
If you can.
14. 14?
It fell short.
Okay.
There's been deflecting the first and the third hit, and you managed to get your second one in.
How much damage was that? You said 19?
Yeah.
What are you at? You can just direct message me if you want. You don't have to tell the guy.
Oh, yeah. Think about that. There you go.
He's quite wounded. You can see that at this point he's like, past bloodied, and your hit really kind of rams in, and
I see the cruelty in your heart already stirring.
That device is not yours to wield. Let
What
them
makes you-
save their friends and their families.
What makes you think I want to wield it? I wouldn't afford life to have that advantage. I think now you understand.
He doesn't respond.
at 11, Malcor.
So now that he's hearing what Abaddon is saying, he assumes he's only saying that because I beat the shit out of him. So my blows must have this ability to change minds. So I'm going to go change the other one's mind.
Nice.
Be a great idea.
You clamber up there and you go to town.
Well, I'm going to attack him with my great axe.
Go for it.
And I got a 21.
Yeah, that'll hit. But, I was thinking, should I do it? No.
So he takes 9. I think just for story purposes, when he saw his sister, his rage dropped. He would have dropped his rage. So he did 9 points of magical slashing damage.
There you go.
And he's got a second attack. And that's an 18.
I think for the purposes of why not, I'm going to use shield now.
Okay.
And it's going to deflect that.
That was a well-placed shield because that was a lot of damage I rolled.
Shit. Well.
He is quite banged up. Like, he doesn't have a lot left in the tank, that's for sure. At 10, Olaf will get up, kind of hurting from the thing, and he's just like this is crazy, he doesn't know what to do anymore. He looks at you, Stovepipe, and he's like, you can clearly see that he completely blown over by the events. He has no clue what to do anymore.
You just stay down, buddy.
And back up the top to the Cicero. To the Stovepipe.
Oh, I didn't even get a chance to go.
Oh.
Yeah, I was at the bottom of the order.
10. Go for it. Sorry. You're good, 10.
Okay. Can I actually grab the orb?
Yeah, it's right there.
I would love to.
All right. You bend down and grab the orb. And as you do, you feel this power, this light that sort of just starts going to you. And Abaddon, you see it as it goes through him. And as the light sort of crawls all over his body, at first nothing seems to happen. And then you feel something in the back of your neck. Uvesh, you feel a burning sensation. You feel like something is being ripped out of you at the back of your neck where that mark of Shadesong is. And as you feel that being ripped out of you, people looking at him, you can see that slowly his flesh is starting to age. and you can see old wounds starting to reappear. Do you drop the sphere, or do you keep holding on to it?
That's a tough decision, actually. You know what? I actually will respond. I will say something, and I will not let go of the orb. Well, this was not what I thought I would be doing. And that you can hear, like, that doesn't sound like Uvesh. That sounds like Cicero instead. And if you're gonna stop me at all, I'm just gonna take the orb and walk past you guys, if I even have the space to do so, and just stand at the circle.
Anyone try to stop him?
Does it seem like he wants the orb? Does Cicero, like, does he want it?
He has the expression of somebody who didn't know what to do with it.
Does it look like he's I mean, he's being old wounds. Does it look like he's dying to Melkor?
Like, he's just straight up decaying.
Yeah.
If it looks like he's dying, Melkor's not going to stop him, but he's going to watch him, because apparently these people never die.
Abaddon
will walk over to the circle next to him and face him while he's having this transformation. Is this what you wanted then? To end it like this?
No, what I wanted.
Why? Why did you lie to us? Why did you lie to all of us? Only now to wither away.
I think you're talking to the wrong person then. Oh, sorry, I said that wrong. I think you're talking to the wrong person then. I'm making a choice for me.
It's about time you did.
And as you step back from him, you can see the centuries that he's outlived, his normal life catching up to him. And as he's holding the sphere, his body starts to decay in front of your eyes. And for a moment, you remember the first time you saw him, the first time he joined Shadesong's army. You remember your army had found him on the side of the mountain up in the north. And he certainly didn't seem like the kind of person who would have the type of hatred of life in his heart that was required for Shadesong to appear. But there was something in his eyes at that time that told you that propensity was there. He could become that. And you can remember perhaps feeling a little bit sad that, this was his destiny. He wasn't going to be able to sort of escape it. And as he stands in front of you, you see him sort of reverting back to that moment. But it's this strange sort of mix of him going back to being that young Uvesh that he was at the beginning, but at the same time aging and decomposing. And eventually the sphere is just hovering there. And you see his body kind of fall, and his soul sort of gets absorbed into the sphere, and the sphere slowly drops down and deposits itself on the ground at your feet.
Melker says, honor our bargain.
Take it. It's not mine to decide.
Melker walks to the circle and picks up the orb.
Olaf stands up and sort of comes over to you. Puts his hand on your shoulder.
And I say to Olaf, let's go and heal our people. And I'll start walking towards the exit as they exit up those stairs.
Yes.
I'll start walking to the stairs to get back to where our people are.
Anyone stop him? And eventually, there's only Stovepipe and Abaddon left in this room.
Now, who the fuck are you then?
Stovepipe will look up and give a very hearty chuckle. No, well, not really anybody. Just a curious, wandering soul. I work for somebody I know, and apparently y'all worked for people that you didn't really. I don't know what y'all were doing. I don't know who you work for. I don't know who you answer to. I don't really much care. And I'm gonna like poke him, like not like in the side, like you really can't die.
Everything dies in time.
All right. Suitably dramatic.
That's all I've got. I'm a naked man standing here.
Would not but your drama. Do you need a drink?
I could use a good stiff drink.
And he reaches into the cloak and pulls out a little water skin of foul Dwargar booze milk.
Takes a big slug.
Who the fuck are you?
That's really fucking complicated. Let me tell you all about it.
And on that note, on that promise of a really complicated story, the one person who thought wasn't going to walk out of here alive, last man standing, naked, with his Willie Johnson flapping in the wind like the champ that he is. And so endeth Saga 9. 2 for the rope. Only one of them got it. Came out on top there, Abaddon.
I mean, that's debatable.
You okay, Travis?
What's up?
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Man, I pulled that out of my ass, and then I felt it.
That was epic, dude.
Yeah, that was
really good.
That was a moment for the ages.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you were all really good. I really, really appreciate you. It was a very weird saga. It was very sort of dark and weird ending, but very fitting somehow, I find. I think, considering the people involved and sort of what was going on in everybody's head and all that, I think that I think I like it. Weirdness.
It was definitely weird. But I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's sort of a happy ending in a way because Melker and Olaf get to do their thing with the with the vessel, and I don't know, another evil jaded soul is gone from Eld. That's got to be kind of a good ending.
You guys really need some therapists to get involved, I think.
No shit.
That's what I was saying this
You know,
whole
in
time.
Pong, it never got this complicated.
No.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Shit.
Well, we'll try to digest all of this and sort of wrap our heads around it and see
what
what's
just happened.
Yeah, we're probably gonna need some therapists. But
Yeah.
Oh,
anyone
I'd
you
be
can
obliged.
recommend anyone. Guys, thank you so much. I want to go around one more time, give everybody a chance to speak a little bit. We'll start with our guest star tonight, the man with the weirdness, the man with the stovepipe. Scoos, thank you so much for stepping in at the last minute to help us out. I super appreciate it, and you did an awesome job with what is really my all-time favorite NPC. So
Was.
yeah, exactly. Was my all-time favorite NPC. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Scoos.
Yo, I am Scoozy, and it has been a dear pleasure to sit in tonight. I enjoyed myself very thoroughly. You can find me at Scooz News on stuff and social medias. Yeah, I think all of my reactions were Stovepipes reactions, which were like, well, let's put it over here now and see what they do. They all want this thing. I don't really care about it. That was so much fun. That was so much fun to watch. Also, y'all killed it.
Yeah,
Killed it.
it was really intense. That I wasn't kidding when I was biting my nails. I was literally biting my nails. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? It was pretty hardcore. Thank you so much, Goose. Always an absolute pleasure. We're going to see you again coming up soon. In fact, in the next saga, playing someone that was referenced tonight. And we'll see who that is next week. Actually, we start next week, and then it's going to get weird. It's going to get weird. But what I love about it is that I totally foreshadowed something about next time, and you can't use it.
I know.
I love it. All right, Chris, how you doing, man? It was your first time.
Hey,
It was super fun to have you. How you doing? Who are you? What's going on?
good man. I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me playing this. It was a blast. I'm WikiVA on Discord and Twitch. If you like what you saw here, you can see me kill more player characters on Wily Hobbit's Discord channel every second. Now that I've got a taste for it, I mean, why not?
All PvP
water.
all the time.
Every second, fourth, and fifth Sundays. The lesson I learned today is don't pick a fight with PCs who can't die, because it's hard to win those.
Yeah, there was a couple of ways. Like, they could have killed each other. That's why I wanted to know how many hit points Travis had left. Because if Abaddon had gotten him down below 1, it would have actually killed, because only death can kill death, basically. So they could have killed each other, and of course the sphere could do its thing. But yeah, other than that, you didn't have a lot of options. So
Tried my
very
best.
difficult to be in that situation, and you handled it really well, and it was cool. And I loved your moment with your sister. It was very nice also.
Well,
That was
thanks.
great.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and we'll definitely have you again once we start putting up some more of these things in the new year, man. If you want to come
Awesome.
back. I mean, at this point, you may be like, fuck these clowns.
No, man. I'd love to come back. If you'll have me, I'll come back.
All right, well,
Dude,
now
the
that you've
fate of
saved
the-
that race.
Yeah, the fate of the purest vessel is literally in his hands.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
love
pretty
about this
cool.
thing. I had no
Yeah.
clue going in where the purest vessel is going to end up.
It's now the purest drinking vessel.
Oh,
And those
boy.
guys are going to have it filled with meat in the middle of the village,
in
right?
his liquor cabinet.
Awesome. Dave, Captain Dave, Naked
Hey.
Dave,
Naked and afraid.
Naked and Afraid.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Guys, awesome to play games with you always. Scoozy, so glad to finally sit around a virtual table with you. Hopefully we'll sit around a real table here in the near future. We'll have clothes on, most likely. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
I know.
I shouldn't make any promises. I play games, produce games, and run games here on Guild Superior. got a bunch of stuff coming up, including a Blade Runner game on Sunday, Vaesen Part 2 finale that Bleak is also running on Monday. That'll broadcast on Monday, and then we're back to Heroes of Greyhawk on Tuesday. So lots going on in the next couple of days. So hang out, come back, follow us if you're not already following us, and consider subscribing if you are following. Help support the stream. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Had a blast.
Cool. Thank you so much, Dave, for participating in this. I was glad to be able to see where Abaddon went, because that was one of the really interesting characters that came out of all this. Just had no clue what was going on with him, and so it was great to get a sense of
both, brother.
Yeah, a sense of something happening. That was cool. So I'm sure we'll see you again also in these things at some point. And finally, the man of the hour, the man who has the distinction to be, in some ways, the first PvP death ever in Shadesong. You missed the first character death by like one episode, but you still have some distinction. And it was a beautiful death. It was a great moment. How you doing, Travis? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I will start off with the fact that it's not just the first PvP death, but like I got to actually claim that death by a technicality.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm referred to as they call me Travis. I'm Eversalt, or you can find me on Twitter as Scan Eversalt, and of course the handle Eversalt that you'll find. I'm just absolute. I may have the name of Eversalt. I'm not actually that salty of a person. I think it's more comical to say that. But yeah, you'll find me around in Guild Superior Discord or out on Twitter blabbing and giving all sorts of weird shower thoughts, if that is that what you call them. And I had an incredible time. You guys really flex with the I was trying to say roll with the punches, flexing with the punches here. I loved it. It was great. And I excited I got to play with you against Goose. We only got to play once, so it's fun to actually see like kind of decide. It seemed like you were like a guy with a huge upper hand. Just get to like watch and just almost like a kid like looking at like a box of ants at this point.
Yeah, that's my favorite character.
Instead of being thrown into a freaking well.
I don't want to fuck with your dynamics. I mean, I do want to fuck with your dynamics.
The ultimate manipulator.
We'll turn the tables next time, and we'll give you the upper hand, Travis, on the scoozes. I'm sure you'll have the opportunity to frolic in the fields of Shadesong together again at some point. I could not do this without you peeps. So, thank you very much. It was a weird one, but we're going to be unpacking this one for a while. But great moments, great role play. You guys were all phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing this with me, and thank you to Andy, our producer. I am the Bleakseason, running this thing, running a bunch of things that Dave said. I'm going to bore you with them again. We are about to raid a good friend of ours, John Phoenix Wacky. Do hang around, give him some love when we switch over, get those raid buttons going, and find us here next week for the beginning of the last Shadesong Saga, part 1 of the 5-part In the Shadow of Our Pale Companion, beginning next week. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. We love you. You're all amazing. And Andy, take it away.